but the first one that we're going to cover, and if we haven't got bets, we won't be covering them. It's Real Sociedad versus Betis. Real Sociedad plus 110 does come into the trap or gift category against the Betis side at a massive plus 255. Really well matched up these. Could see the draw at plus 250, but the under or over 2.5 at minus 110. Paco, I'm going to let you go first here because I want to see what Pavlos has got with numbers and trends, because these two match up for me 50-50.
Yes, and obviously we have to talk about the race for the European places, which is at this point possibly the most interesting thing, because everyone knows Real Madrid are going to win the trophy. More or less, you can see the three teams who are going to fall to and getting relegated to Segunda. But at this point, you know, the third, the fourth spots are up for grabs. I believe that Barca and Atletico have a slight advantage because of their squads, the depth of their squad, their teams, the way Xavi and Simeone have kept going with rotations. But Betis, for example, they are facing their next round of games. Real Sociedad this weekend. Midweek, they're facing Elche, which is, okay, not the most difficult opposition. And next Saturday, Valencia in the Copa del Rey final. Okay, if you win the Copa del Rey final, you have automatically a Europa League spot for next season. Okay, but if we speak to Betis fans, they will sure ask their team to go for it and try to squeeze into that fourth spot, because Sevilla are in for it, Villarreal are in for it, Real Sociedad, Betis, 4 teams for only 1 place. So I think they have to go like with all their cards, just the whole deck into this game. And in that sense, Real Sociedad also playing at home very, very strong this season, especially at the beginning of the first quarter of the season. And also with most of their players, even though there are a couple of injuries, most of the players fit, and especially only 1 game a week. Overall, it's going to be, I believe, a game with a few goals, quite a few goals, I'd say. But as you said, 50-50, because it's going to be very tough. Even going for a high-scoring draw could be the way to go. So I don't know, Pavlos, which kind of stats he has, but I think it's going to be more or less this way.
Pavlos, Betis, minus 130, double chance. I couldn't trust Sociedad to score twice at plus 105. It's just one of those. I think if Betis score, they're going to get something out of the game. It looks very, very tight, but I'm not brave enough to go with the under 2.5 at minus 110. I think Betis, double chance at minus 130 is probably the only way I could go.
Yeah, and how can you go with the under? I mean, when you look at, of course, Real Sociedad's numbers, of course, we've been talking about them all season. They have the 3rd best defense. They have the best home defense with 6 conceded goals. But something happens when they face Betis. I mean, Betis, they destroyed them in a couple of matches already this season by 4-0 in both matches, both at home and away. And when you look at the history between these 2 sides, and it's something that I take very much into consideration. Not in all matchups, but in most of them. 8 of the last 9 matches had over 2.5 goals, and easily. And when you look at matches, even at this venue, these 2 sides have a lot of 2-2 draws, 3-3 draws, 4-4 draws. I mean, there's something going on whenever these 2 sides meet against each other that produces a lot of goals. Maybe Betis, you know, they know how to unlock this Real Sociedad defense so well. I have to repeat that they've scored 8 goals in 2 matches, and they have conceded none so far in the season. So Betis, you know, of course, they do have a very heavy schedule, and they're in danger of, I keep saying that, they're in danger of being left empty-handed after this season finishes, because if they lose the Copa final against Valencia, and if they lose a couple of matches, they can easily find themselves outside the top 6 spots, and they're going to be left with nothing after a really solid season. So right now, they're sitting 2 points above Real Sociedad in the standings. So I believe that they'll fight, very hard to keep at least a draw. They don't even need a win here. Of course, a win could potentially take them up a spot and inside the Champions League spots. But I think the best thing that they'll try to do here is to keep Real Sociedad at bay. At least a point is enough to do that because, you know, Betis, they don't have a favorable schedule to finish the season. So they need all the points they can get, and they should do it now. They need at least a draw here. That's why I like, the double chance. I also see a lot of goals here. I love the history between these two sides. In this venue or in any venue, there's a lot of goals being scored, a lot of both teams to score and over 2.5 goals combos. So yeah, I see a lot of goals, and Betis not losing.
Look, Betis have got to make sure they defend deep, because Sociedad are one of them sides. They catch you. If you come up too high, they've got the pace to get in behind you. They've got the players that will split you with them passes. So, yeah, I listen, Betis, I've left the game alone. So really, I'm mostly talking a hot wind, because I just can't split them. I mean, the draw at plus 250 is normally where I would fall. But the way the Betis have been playing in the last sort of 8-10 games, I couldn't go anywhere near them neither. Okay, let's have a little look at the official picks of game number 1, which was Sociedad versus Betis. And it's over 2.5 goals at minus 110. He's double dipped, as Pavlos has been on a great run. Betis plus 0.5 as well. So that's Betis double chance at minus 130. And for Paco, it's both teams to score an over 2.5 goals at plus 130. He doesn't care who wins, but if he's a team player, he'll be cheering on Betis to win 2-1, 3-2. Or even 2-2 gets the job done as well.